If you need to replace the motor on your very old Henry from the late 80s or the early 90s, you're going to be facing a little bit of a problem. The motor that they have inside is a D2-1004N and they've been discontinued years ago. Numatic have replaced it with a newer motor and a fitting kit, but it's really expensive. Today though, I'm going to show you how to replace that motor with a compatible one at half the price. First step of any repair, make sure that Henry is unplugged from the mains, and then we just need to undo the 4 screws that run on the outside edge underneath Henry's hat. And then we can lift off the shell, and then the cable rewind can be put to one side too. Inside you will see 3 screws. We need to undo those. Once they're unscrewed, we can just lift this housing off, and now you will see your old motor. Remove the white wires from the power switch. You might just need to slide it up if it makes it easier to get to. And then we need to remove your old motor. The top rubber part that goes over it, that needs to go on your new motor. So we'll do that first, put the wires through and put that top ring on. Now the next step is where things get a little bit playful to make this motor fit. We need to take the base ring off the old motor and cut the lip off it. Then the lip that we've just cut off, we need to take that to make a slightly smaller ring. Not totally tiny, it needs to sit on the other part of the ring, if you get what I'm saying. The reason we're making this smaller ring is basically it's acting as a spacer to lift the motor ever so slightly. Otherwise, if you just put the old ring on it, the motor kind of sits on the plastic grill and then you end up with a gap and then there's no suction. So basically, this is like a spacer going between the motor and the base ring to make the suction perfect, so it's no gaps, all nicely sealed. You get what I mean. Now that's all sorted out, we can feed the wires from the new motor through to where the switches are and just leave them there for the time being. We need to fit the motor upside down as such, so we make sure everything's lined up, putting the motor in and then putting the 2 rings on that we've made. Now we can line up the base and put that on top. And now you need to carefully hold it together so everything's in place and do up the 3 screws to hold it down, making sure there's no gaps anywhere. Now connect the 2 motor wires back to the switch, it doesn't matter which way round they go, and just putting everything back in place now. So if you've removed the cover from the top of the switches, put that in place, then put the cable rewind in, making sure the cable comes out the little gap where it's supposed to. Then the shell goes on top of that and you've got the little cable entry thing. Make sure that's all in place and lined up right. Then we can flip it over and do up the 4 outer screws and your motor replacement is complete. Not really textbook stuff, but you've got a really good motor, you've got a strong motor and you've not spent 85 quid. Thank you for watching, and YouTube has chosen this next video for you. Also, a quick mention, my wonderful wife has just released her first ever murder mystery novel, and we would be delighted if you would go to her website, jadegrafton.com, to receive your free sample.